Hello everyone and welcome to a new video in our IFS Cloud video series. My name is Marcela Ushan, I'm an IFS consultant, and today I want to discuss about the concept of an inventory transaction and how do we go from moving the stock, from stock movement to general ledger, to our financial books. But before going into the system, I would want maybe to spend a few more moments maybe on a flowchart just to get the basics correctly. What we need to understand and what we will see today is we will deliver a shipment. So basically delivering a shipment means we take some goods, some materials from our own warehouse, from our inventory, and deliver it to our customer. So basically we will have less inventory on hand. So we are taking out something, we are taking out value. Whenever we move stock around, we are also moving value. So we are moving money, if you will, because each material most of the times will have a cost, cost that with which we purchased that material or cost of production for that part number. And always when we move something into inventory or out of inventory or in between different locations, we are moving money. And in the end, that movement also must be reflected in the financial books of the company, which is the general ledger in this case. So we will see today, we will start with delivering a shipment, and then we will have the so-called inventory transaction created, and it will have also some financial postings. We will have a look at what's the system logic to derive those financial postings. And then we will execute a job to transfer inventory transactions into finance. So at this stage here, we are still in the manufacturing and supply chain subledger, if you will. And once we transfer the inventory transactions, we will start hitting the financials module. So we will have a voucher created, and then we will quickly run an update general ledger. So this voucher will get transferred into the general ledger, and this is the final state of our transaction. When it will hit general ledger, then there is no going back. Everything is recorded in the financials module. Okay, so we will also have a look now into the system exactly to see how this would work in real life. So let me jump into the system. I already have a shipment created. I already reserved the material. So what we will do, we will just create a pick list and execute picking and then deliver this shipment. So I will create a pick list. If you're not familiar with what I'm doing now, there are other videos which show exactly the steps of processing a shipment. But basically, I just want to report picking now. I go to report picking of pick list lines. And again, now at this moment, what we are doing, we are taking one piece of the bicycle from our warehouse location, and we will move it into the shipping preparation area. So this means also this operation, report picking, will create inventory transactions. But I will show you in a minute. So quantity to pick one, yes, report picking, okay, perfect. And now the system opened up an assistant asking us to relocate the parts from our inventory, from our main warehouse from the picking location into the shipping preparation area. So again, remember, when we move something, we move value. And when we move anything from stock, we move value. So this will also generate inventory transactions, which in turn will generate financial transactions. So I will just say okay. And now our picking has been reported, so it's complete. We go back into the shipment. And here in the shipment, now we see next step in the shipment flow is to complete. So I'll go to operation complete. And now I will do the delivery. Now, once I press the lever, this means the one piece of bicycle with the serial number is no longer in our shipping area, but it's already on its way to the customer. Yeah? So it's no longer in our stock, in our ownership. So we will just say deliver, yes, and this operation will also create an inventory transaction. Yeah? Now, we will just leave it as completed. We will not go all the way to invoice it, because the purpose for this video is to have a look at the inventory transactions and what's the logic for the system to derive the different accountings that will happen in general ledger. So we go to the navigator, expand it, and I will go to inventory transactions history, and we will go to the overview. So there are lots of transactions here, for our site, everything that we did in the past videos, but I will just try to search something that we created today. So let's see if we have a created date, and let's just say today. And good enough. Now you can see we only have 3 inventory transactions. So if you remember, I was telling you also when we do the picking, so we move one piece of a bicycle from our picking location into the shipping area. We had this pick in and pick out transactions. And here we can see what we picked in. Cube Reaction Pro, one piece from the picking location and dropped it into the shipping location. And we can see all the details from all the traceabilities here. What was the lot batch number, what was the serial number, for which customer order number we did the picking. So everything is here, which is the pick list number. So pick list number 11. We can, very important, we can see the cost associated. So it's 1,000 euros in this case. We can see who did it. And we can see if it was transferred or if there were some errors. So we have the transactions for the pick in, pick out. When we take it from picking location, dropped it into the shipping area, and then finally we have a third transaction, which is the OE shipping of inventory parts. When we removed the bicycle, and we can also see a column called direction here, which tells us if we removed quantity, it's a minus. If we added quantity, it's a plus. So we added quantity in the shipping location, but we removed it from the picking location. And then finally, we remove the quantity from our shipping location, and the goods are already en route to the customer. And what's very important, as I said, every movement of goods, it's basically a movement of value. And since we are dealing with an ERP system, we need to also capture that value. And that value needs to be posted in the financial books. This right here is not financial books. This is just inventory transactions history. And basically, if we will drill down into one of these, inventory transactions history, we can see more details. We can see from which location we did, what was the cost, what's the source for this transaction, some tracing elements, lot batch number, serial number, if it was company owned, if we would have handling units, then we would see the handling unit ID here. But what's important for us is to go to the accounting. So basically what will happen is that all the goods that we will move in our inventory will create some postings that needs to be transferred to our general ledger. And here we can see different posting types. Now this has a lot to do with finance already. So we are crossing the territory from supply chain into finance, but I think it's important also to see how the information flows from supply chain into finance. Yeah? So how did the system derived these posting types? Yeah, you see M1, M24, and these are some financial posting types. And basically how the system derived this, for each transaction code, yeah, we have in the screen called business events, we have this logic. Each transaction code, when it's triggered, will further trigger some posting types. Yeah, so if I go now into the business events page, yeah, maybe I open it in a new tab and we will look for the OE ship. Just copy and paste it in the new tab. Okay. So we go to the business event page and just paste the transaction code in the system event ID and I will search by it. And we see we get an result OE ship, yeah, ship inventory parts. This is what we did when we pressed the deliver button in the shipment. Yeah, it triggered the OE ship business event. Yeah. And now when we look at the OE ship business event, what's important for us is in the posting info. In the posting info, we can see, yeah, that there's the link with the accounting posting types. So whenever the OE ship business event is triggered, again, it was triggered when we pressed the deliver button, then this one in turn triggers the M1, M24 posting control. And here in the posting control M1 and M24, you can say which account should be used in general ledger for the financial posting. So that you can track all of the different good movements that you do. Yeah? So if we go just shortly to the posting control, yeah, now this is totally out of supply chain and into the finance world. But I think it's important just to have a look at this. Yeah, we can search for posting type M1. It was M1. You can see here there are lots and lots of different posting types because you can transfer all kind of you can do all kind of inventory transactions, also fixed asset transactions. But what we care about is this M1, and we can see here for M1 we say that the account, the general ledger account, should be 46,001. Yeah? And this is how the system will derive this value. So our financial posting will go to this account. Yeah? So if we go to inventory transactions history back to this page, yeah, we can see M1 with our cost, which goes into the credit, 1,000, and we see the account is 46001. Yeah? And again, inventory transaction is triggered, and then the system will look at the business events for the different transaction code, and in the business event it will see which posting types it needs to trigger, and then from the posting control we'll see which account should be fetched. Yeah? So the amount should go to which account. Of course, in the posting control you can have a lot more options, yeah, to choose accounts based on different things and based on different values from the system. But yeah, for this video I think it's good enough just for you to have a bit of an understanding, yeah, how the system finds out what's the account that needs to be posted, that needs to be impacted. Yeah? So we did a delivery of the shipment. Yeah? We got the ship inventory parts transaction created with different postings. Yeah? And the next step would be to transfer these postings, yeah, into the finance world. And how do we do that? First of all, we can go to a screen that's called supply chain transactions analysis. Yeah, so we can see here supply chain and manufacturing postings analysis. Yeah, so if we open this page, here we can see all the different postings that were created by different transactions. Yeah, and here we have different statuses. So you see here we have a transaction with status 2, which means it's completed. Yeah, completed means everything, all the postings were created correctly, but they were not yet transferred into the finance world. Status 3 means everything was transferred, yeah, postings were created, and the voucher, the financial voucher was created. We can also have status code 99, yeah, with incorrect accounting, and there we will also have some error descriptions, yeah, saying what's, maybe there's a situation where the system could not find the proper account based on the posting control rules, and there we will see it flagged with a status code 99, incorrect accounting, and an error description. Yeah. All of these are very important for finance because they need to transfer all the supply chain and manufacturing postings into finance in order to be able to close the period. Yeah, but this is a totally different task for the finance department. Good. In case we have some transactions with errors, we also have a screen here called rerun erroneous supply chain and manufacturing postings. So if we have something on an error, we need to see what the error message is, correct the posting control definition maybe, and then just rerun everything that's in an error, and then hopefully everything will go to status 2, which is completed, and once it's completed we can transfer. Yeah, so transferring inventory transactions can be done manually from this page, transfer inventory transactions, or it can be also scheduled. Yeah, so we can create a schedule at the end of each day or at the end of the month to transfer the inventory transactions. But right now we will just do it manually, so we will just say start now, and I will just say finish. And now a background job will be started. Yeah, transfer inventory transactions, background job should be started, and if we go back into our screen, yeah, then we should see our status moving from a 2 to a 3. And so we have here our transaction that we just did. And this one is a status 2. Let's see if we find the other ones. So we had a few picking transactions, one pick in, pick out, and one OE ship transaction. Let's see if we can see them here on the top. Otherwise, probably the background job already finished, and now everything is moved to a 3. Yeah, but we can search for our, or we can even sort by accounting ID, because our transactions should be the last ones. Yeah, indeed. And we see here M1, M24. This is our OE ship transaction. If we scroll more to the right, we see status code is 3. So this means the voucher was created in finance, yeah, for this account, general ledger account. And we can see, yeah, indeed, it's a OE ship transaction. And we also have a voucher number. Yeah. All our transactions that we processed with the transfer inventory transactions got added to the same voucher number. Yeah, and we can also see what's the accounting year and the period. Yeah, so different details here, also the amounts, credit and debit, and so on. Yeah. And basically now, if we take this number, yeah, we can go and see our voucher in finance. Yeah, so if I maybe come back to the process flow for a minute, yeah, just for you to see. So right now we just did the transfer inventory transaction. Yeah, so the second box, and we have the voucher created. Once we transfer the inventories, the voucher is created. We will have a look at the voucher, and then we will run another job to transfer the voucher from the subledger into the general ledger. Yeah, and finally our general ledger will be, voucher will be created. Yeah, so this is like the final status of the posting all the way to the general ledger. So if I come back to the system and we will go and see our voucher details, voucher details analysis, yeah, for our DE10 company. Now, immediately we can see it because it's just one that's not yet been transferred. Okay, search for it. Yeah, it's just one that's in approved status. Also here you can have a complicated, more complex approval process on the finance side. We won't go into those options, but we have the voucher, we have the voucher rows, and here we have all of the rows, for the pick in, pick out, and also for the inventory transaction, so also for the ship inventory parts, so pick out, pick in, and then our OE ship or ship inventory parts, with a different account. It's always the same account in this case because I just did it quick and dirty, but obviously people in finance should really define individual accounts for each of these posting control types. So the data is here, but it's not yet transferred into the general ledger. And in order to do that, we will go to a page called Update GL. It's an assistant page that will open up, and it will show all the vouchers that are in approved status as eligible for transfer to general ledger. We will just click on next. So we want everything from all the periods. Just click on next, and here we should see our MPL voucher. And we can see it was created by myself today. We just say yes, we want to move it into the general ledger. And we have a journal number in GL. And now if we go to GL voucher details analysis, so no longer voucher details analysis, but GL. So we are no longer in the subledger, but we are in the real financial book of the company. So GL voucher details. We can also have a look for voucher, or let's see, we can have a look for journal number 2 we had, just to identify the one that we want. Okay, there's no journal number. Let's maybe say entry date today. And probably is this one, the last one that we got. And if we scroll down, indeed, we see the same data from the voucher details analysis now in the GL voucher details analysis. So right now we managed to finally post all our transactions that we did. So one thing that's important to keep in mind, is that whenever we do some stock movement, the system will generate an inventory transaction. Once that inventory transaction is created, the system will look for the business event to see which posting types need to be triggered. And then it will fetch the accounting details from the posting types. And finally, someone from finance at the end of the month, or usually at the end of the month, in order to be able to close the financial period, will transfer all of these inventory transactions into finance, into the financial realm, and do the final postings, move the final postings until it hits the general ledger books. Good. So I think this is a very important concept to grasp, because it sits at the center of the ERP system, with whenever information is flowing from supply chain into finance, which is the heart of every ERP system. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of the day, and until next time, bye.